are you guys today? Well, I hope. Very well. So I'm sitting at my desk. I'm not standing up like I normally do because I am looking for something to share with you guys today. Something I've been thinking about. Hi, Anadit. And probably something that you may or may not know is affecting your life. I mean, it affects all of our lives. And once we can get a real grasp on what to do about it, hi Alicia, we're going to have a much better life once we have been able to make peace with our worst enemy. So what I'm looking up right now is going to give you a little clarity on that. Hi Nicola, hi Jackie. I want to make sure we're all in the right place. Good morning, Derek. So if you guys were to say, hi Nana, if you guys were to tell me who your worst enemy is, who would you say? Good morning, Lizzie. My friend, this was kind of prompted because a friend of mine sent me a text this week, and the text said, what is the number one enemy we face on earth? What is the number one enemy people face on earth? Hi, Paradise. And do you guys know what I answered? What do you think I answered him? Nicholas says, I like your earrings. Okay, Lizzie says, my own mind is my enemy. So you're right on track. Hi, Molly. Welcome back. So what else? Is there any other way to say it? How would you guys say it? Do you think your own mind is your worst enemy, like Lizzie said? What are your guys' thoughts? Do you guys think that's true?
Why are you sitting with you, Mom?
Because I'm looking for something on the computer. Nana said, until I took your class, you are worthy. It was me. Okay, Nana was her own worst enemy. Alicia says, most definitely.
Mom, get back here!
You know what Anna did? I already had my lemon water and my celery juice, so I'm not drinking anything right now. But I'm either going to make a smoothie or oatmeal when we're done.
Jack is over there playing dumb.
Tim, you want to put your face in and say hello?
Hi, except Eli kidnapped Jack, so I got my skin.
Okay, close the door. Close the door.
Okay.
Okay, so I was looking to find a section in my, so you guys, Nana mentioned the online course that I put out called You Are Worthy. That really gets you to really see yourself the way God sees you. So you have the courage and the confidence to go after your dreams. Looks like there's another Lizzie on today, 2 Lizzies. Hi, Sub-Zero Strikers. Welcome, welcome. So if you know that you or your mind are your own worst enemy, what can you do about it? What do you do about it? Do you guys have any idea? Like, how do you... Angela's still going to be attending sometimes, but I think she's taking today off. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Oh, no, I thought I did. Lizzie, Maria Johnson, she still is a lovely person. She's not going anywhere. I'm just trying out different moderators, having different people try it out, give someone a break. She's been doing it. Her and Frank have been doing it for 1.5 years, and sometimes it's good just to give people a break and let them just be able to enjoy the live stream instead of having to work the whole time and read every single comment. Jarell is here. Thank you, Jackie. So if you know you are your own worst critic, your own worst enemy.
There's going to be an ad in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you tired of your boring, lame Fritos?
Yes, I'm tired of my boring, lame Fritos.
Introducing a new kind of Fritos. Fritos scoops. Oh, wow. Was that nice?
Okay.
Anyways, Frito scoops. Dip them, eat them. For example, hummus, Frito dip, etc.
And bean dip.
Yeah.
Hi, Lucas Lee. You been doing a lot of writing?
So if someone gives you like $10, that's cool.
Yeah, thank you for the gift, Derek. So Derek wants to know when my You Are Worthy paperback is coming out. If it were up to me, I would have had it out in August. That's when I wanted to get it
Anyways,
out.
back to the advertisement. Get your Frito scoops today at FritoLane.com or something like that. Not sponsored, by the way.
Completely not sponsored. Could you let go and shut my door?
Sorry. Yeah. Also, this is an example for the scoops.
Okay, enough of the chips. Nobody cares. Okay, he wants to show you they're scooped out. Okay, wonderful, wonderful crunchy chips. All right.
Don't spit that out.
Okay. Go. Hi, Colin. And close the door and take Eli with you. Oh, hi. Is it Gazelle? Did I say your name right?
Yeah.
She's got an exam next week. We will pray for her. Okay, Elena's here too. So, Derek, I would have already had it out. However, the editing was taking a little longer than I had hoped, and then I decided to add a few things like some little graphics. Oh, Angela made it after all. Thank you for the gift, Angela. So we've got, Tommy here. Hopefully I said your name right. Jordan is here. I'll tell him, Jordan, I'll tell him. So I think if we know that we ourselves are our own worst enemy, our minds, what do we do about it? Magnetic Entrepreneur showed up and said he wants to talk to me about a part in his movie. Okay, well, let me know. We can have that discussion. It better be a good, juicy character. Okay. Did you guys see the 2 that came out this week? Was I in 2 this week? I think I might have been. Angela's saying hi. I might have been in 2 this week. One with Giovanna and... Oh, were they both? They were both with Giovanna. Okay, one where she was my poor neighbor and one where we were neighbors. We were feuding with each other. Okay. So, if you guys know that you're your own worst enemy and you treat yourself worse than you would ever treat anybody else, what can you do about that? Do you recognize that? Do you even know that you're doing that? Can you tell me in the chat? Type in what are some of the ways that you have been worse to yourself than you have been worse to anybody else. Hi, Anna. I just want you guys to get an idea. Hi, Donald. Get an idea of how you guys are doing this to yourself. Are you sabotaging yourself? How many of you guys know what sabotaging is? Hi, Rosa. So you're sabotaging yourself, but how? What are you saying or what are you doing to yourself that is not helpful? You know, in the scripture, Jesus tells us to love others as we love ourselves. So are you loving others as you love yourself, or are you treating others much better than you treat yourself? Can you guys answer that question for me? How are you treating yourself? How many of you guys can say, yes, I treat myself worse than I treat others? Okay, so Jarrell says to sabotage means to destroy something. How many of you guys destroy your peace of mind? You blame it on the other person, but can someone else really rob you of your peace? Good morning, Miss Motivation. Or are you responsible for your peace? Can we really blame someone else for something they say if we don't feel peace about it? So, for example, if you give up on your dreams of playing piano because somebody told you you're terrible and you're not good at piano, is it that person's fault that you're not good with piano? I'm sorry, Rosa, I can't read. Is this Russian? I don't know what you're saying. If you could do your best to type it in English, or before you put it up, put it in Google Translate, That way I can see it in English, translated to English, then I could maybe answer your question. So Lizzie says you're responsible for your own peace. If we want peace, we need to do what's needed to get peace, even if that means distancing ourselves from people and situations that don't bring us peace. Yes. Yes. And Nana says, oh, that's very convicting. Okay. Anadit says sabotage means hurting others. But guess what? Sabotage could also mean hurting yourself. Sub-Zero says we treat ourselves the worst, worse than other people. Excuse me. Maybe I should have had some water here. And then we try to blame others for our mistakes. Okay, so I was working with a writing partner once, and he did not like my writing. I'm not sure if I've ever told you guys this story before. God was telling me he wanted me to write a book. And I just thought, wow, I never went to college. I'm not very smart. I don't think I could write a book. And then
Goodbye.
okay, it's gonna be one of those days. I'm getting a zombie attack from 2 little baby zombies. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, could you guys go? Can you guys like take a break from biting me while we're...
What happened?
Oh, you were temporarily a zombie and you were biting me on my live stream. Okay.
Look at my
Quiet, you guys, Dad's sleeping. Okay. So you guys sabotage yourself, and then sometimes you blame it on what other people have said or done. But nobody is responsible for your peace or your emotions except you. You guys, close the door. Close the door, please. Close both doors. Close my office door and close the bedroom door. Ay, ay, ay. Right? So you can choose how you react to what people say. So I was writing. I had a writing partner. We were working on a script. We were going to do this TV script. We were writing this pilot, and he would use all these big words. And I didn't know what they meant. And this is before I had like the dictionary app on my phone. Maybe I've told this story before. I don't know. And I would always ask him, like, what does that word mean? And he would get so frustrated with me. And then we're writing the script together, and he was like, I can't write with you anymore. You can't even form a sentence. So when God tells me, oh, I want you to write a book, I thought to myself, I'm just repeating this guy's words. I can't even form a sentence, God. What are you talking about? These really smart people who've gone to school told me I can't even form a sentence. So here I am throwing my idea of writing a book away because I was judging myself and sabotaging myself because I didn't go to college and because I tried writing with someone much smarter than me, whom I thought was much smarter than me, and he's telling me I can't even form a sentence. So I basically threw it away. But tell me, was it the person's fault who said I couldn't write? Was it the fact that I didn't go to college that sabotaged me from writing the book? Or was it my own thoughts about it? Was it me accepting some story? Y Tram says, I love authors. I'd read your book. Well, I have 3 of them out right now. And Derek was just asking about the 4th, which hopefully will be coming soon. So I wanted to add some graphics to it. So that's why, one of the reasons it's not out right now is I'm putting some little quote graphics in it. So is it my fault that I didn't write the book? Or can I really blame it on the person who told me I couldn't write a sentence? Or the fact that I didn't go to school? Well, obviously, hi Augie, obviously it's my own fault that I didn't have the book out. What somebody says to me makes no difference at all. Even if I'm wanting to be an actor, a casting director may tell me, you can't act, you're terrible. There was an acting coach who told an actor he couldn't act, he was terrible. He told him he was the worst actor he had ever seen. And do you know, that actor didn't give up because of what somebody told him. He actually went on to win an Academy Award, an Oscar. And what we become in life is based on us and what we do and what we think of ourselves. And it's not based on what anybody has said to us or about us or our ability. Now, guys, I know sometimes liking yourself or having self-love can be hard. Hi, Elena. It can be difficult. Like we are falsely taught sometimes, or we falsely believe that humility means that we put ourselves down, that we think lower of ourselves, that we don't think anything nice or good about ourselves. But that's not what humility is. It doesn't mean you're thinking less of yourself. Someone once said it means you're thinking of yourself less often. So you're just not obsessed with yourself. You're not thinking about yourself all the time. So when God tells us the second greatest commandment is to love ourselves, what are some ways that we can love ourselves? How do you show yourself love? Do you give yourself words of affirmation? Or do you put yourself down all the time? What is it that you do? Do you say, I can't do anything right. I'm never going to make it. I'm not good enough. Everyone is better than me. Not loving yourself is actually selfish. Because when you put yourself down, you're criticizing God because He made you. You're telling God He did a terrible job. He didn't do a good enough job. He didn't do right. He didn't make you smart enough. He didn't make you handsome enough, thin enough, muscular enough. So when you're criticizing yourself, you're telling God, you messed up. You don't know what you're doing. Is that fair? Is that true? Donald says we sabotage ourselves when we refuse to let go of our pain that people have done or said to us. That is exactly right, Donald. We refuse to let go of the pain. So that's what's holding us back, is our refusal to let go, our refusal to forgive, our refusal to think of ourselves the way God thinks of us, to see ourselves the way God thinks of ourselves, and allow the harsh judgment of others and the harsh judgment from ourselves to keep us in a place where we shouldn't be, to keep us in a place. So Romans 13:10 says, love does no harm to its neighbor. Therefore, love is fulfilling the law. If love doesn't harm its neighbor. So if we're to love others as we love ourselves, like that second greatest commandment tells us, then we should not harm ourselves if we would not harm our neighbor. And some of you guys think it's no big deal to look in the mirror and say, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm disgusting, I'm stupid, no one would ever want me. I have this disability, or I have that disability. So clearly I can't make my dreams happen. And none of that is true. You have dreams in your heart, and God placed them there. And if He placed them there, then you have everything within you to do it. You have the capability of making all of those things happen, no matter what they are. So when we don't allow ourselves to shine, we're robbing God of our potential. We're robbing the whole world of our potential. We're robbing ourselves of our potential and what we could be, what we could do, what we could have. Let me look at some of your comments. Let's see. Nicholas says, I try to say positive affirmations about myself, and every day I reflect on 3 good things that happen. That's a good rule of thumb. Go to bed writing down 3 great things that happened today. Miss Motivation says, I was in college and I was thinking that myself that I'm never going to make it. You can't do that. Shanti said, okay, that's something you'll have to deal with. You'll have to send them a message. I don't know what's happening, you guys. If you're getting personal inbox messages that I don't know anything about, that's something you're going to have to deal with. Jarrell says he used to sabotage himself. Nana says, you have been such a great example to me of not taking people's comments to heart because they're not about you. That's the thing that's hard for us to understand. But he said I couldn't even form a sentence. Is that really about me? Or is that about his own frustration? Was he not able to show me how to... Was he not able to show me? Hold on, guys. Hopefully my battery lasts the whole live stream. I just had a low battery message come up. Was that about him not being able to show me how to form a sentence right? If he was so disturbed about me not being able to form a sentence, this is me years later, then why didn't he just show me, oh, the don't use adverbs and stronger sentences don't use ly words and you have to have the preposition. I don't even know all the terms because frankly, I'm not great at grammar. But that just still doesn't mean I can't write a book, and it still doesn't mean I can't hire editors who do know what they're doing. So eventually I got smart enough and I decided, why am I gonna let this guy tell me I can't write? Even if I didn't know how to form a sentence. I know lots of people who know how to form a sentence who have books inside them and they've never written them. What's the difference? I decided to step out in faith. I decided to do it anyway. No one can hold you back from your dreams. You hold you back from your dreams, and that's why you're your worst enemy. So I want you guys to think about this. If you would not do to others what you're doing to yourself, then you can't do it to yourself. So let me give you some examples, and this is out of my advanced course, the level 2 You Are Worthy course, because we're going deeper on the understanding. What's the matter, sweetheart? You hurt your arm? Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for healing Elijah's arm. Take the pain away completely. In Jesus' name I pray.
You?
Amen. Yes, I'm on a live stream right now. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I'm gonna touch you.
Okay, so we cannot have these self-attacking attitudes and behaviors that harm us. In the same way, we wouldn't have self-attacking... Elijah, shut the door. Self-attacking behaviors that harm others. So I really hope I can go over the whole hour on this live stream, but we'll see what my battery does. So when you denigrate yourself, you're being selfish. When you think you're worthless and no good, you're being selfish. And you are your own worst enemy. Putting yourself down is just as bad, just as selfish as when you're being egotistical and vain and thinking that you're so amazing and you're God's greatest gift. And you guys may be questioning, like, how is that possible? Well, I go deep in this in the advanced course. So in there, I have you guys do a test called the loving or loathing test. And it's pretty simple. And this is to tell whether your behavior or your actions are loving towards yourself or whether they're loathing to yourself. So can you guys think of some of the ways right now that you might be harming yourself? That you might be doing something that's not beneficial to you? Put that in the chat. While you're putting that in the chat, write down some of the ways that you think that you're loving to yourself and some of the ways that you think you're loathing yourself. And I'll tell you how you can tell the difference. Okay, let me go back through a couple of these messages while you guys are writing that. Catherine, I watch every one of your streams. Do you think I'm worthy to be a moderator of your channel? Well, I don't know you well enough. I think I've only seen you on a few. Right now, I've got a couple new moderators in rotation, and we'll keep them for a while. And if I need more, I will reach out and get more. But we're going to try 2 at a time for now and see what happens. I don't know, maybe 3. I have 3 right now. 1 can only come sporadically. Okay. Miss Motivation says you've got to be okay on your own before you can be okay with somebody else. That's true. Scripture says we have to first be friendly in order to have friends. So you have to love yourself and be friendly to yourself in order to even have friends. Okay. Orly's here. Good morning. Okay, so Nicholas says, I remember having a music account on Instagram, but I deleted it because of haters and it was impacting my mental health. So I want you guys to get to the place where what people say is a completely separate thing from who you are and what you believe about yourself. So there's what people say, and then there's you over here. They're not connected. They're two completely different things. I want you guys to be like you're out in nature and you see a rock over on a mountain. Yeah, a rock could hurt if it hit you. If someone threw that at you, it could hurt you. But you can't look at a rock or somebody's comment. Derek, my phone is plugged in right now. I just don't think the charger is working. It's currently plugged in. Because I had a notice come up that it's low battery, I don't know if the charger's working. Okay, so if you're out in nature and you see a rock, that could be a painful thing, right? But you don't go, oh, my life is over because there's a rock over there. I don't know if you guys are getting the connection. I'm trying to give some examples. You're just like, oh, that if I let that hit me, that could be painful. But when someone throws a comment at you, a mean, angry put down, dodge the rock. Dodge the rock. The thing is, anybody who's throwing rocks at you or mean words or bad comments, they can't hit you unless you let it. They cannot. It's not possible for them to hit you. Do you remember last week when we were talking about the dead person? How the Bible says we've died to our old selves and all things have become new. And you could stand over a dead person's grave and holler the worst thing you could possibly holler at them. And you're not going to get a rise out of them because they're dead. It's the same thing. We go out in nature and you look at a rock, that can't hurt you. No one can hit you with a mean comment that's going to change anything unless you let them. So if you closed your account because of haters, it might not necessarily be about the haters. What happens is when somebody says something awful to us, some mean, nasty comment, some bully at school or work, somebody's typing something on your channel, it's like a rock on the hill. It's not part of you. They may have thrown it at you, but they can't hit you unless you purposefully grab their comments, look at them, mull them over, question, is this true? Do I believe this? Am I a terrible singer? Am I a bad writer? Am I never going to play hockey? Do I suck at basketball? Maybe that's true. Oh my gosh, maybe they're right. It's all over for me. My dream is over. It's never going to happen to me. Forget it. Close it down. Was it the person's comment or was it what I decided it meant? We are our own worst enemy because we decide, not what they said, we decide what they said is the truth, even though they may not even know what they're talking about. We decide it's the truth. No, Timothy's not in here. We decide it's the truth. We take it in, and then we start to live as if that thing's true. So how many years did I go, I can't write a book. I can't even form a sentence. Here's me quoting what this guy said to me, what my co-writer of this TV pilot said to me. Was that his fault that I never wrote a book? Did he hold my hands behind my back and keep me from typing on my keyboard? No. You guys, thank you for the gift, Brittany. You're so sweet. Nobody is holding you back. You are deciding to take what somebody said about you, or even what you said about yourself, to mean that you can't have the things you want in life, that you can't have your dreams. And it's just not true. It's just not true. So, are you passing the loving or loathing test? Let me see some of your comments before I get to that. Is this helpful, guys? Will you type a yes in the chat? Will you tell me, are you getting something out of it? Do you realize what somebody says to you has no way it can possibly hurt you unless you let it in, unless you dwell on it, unless you believe it, unless you think it's true, unless you decide to quit and give up because there's a rock over on that mountain, someone tried to throw it at you? It can't hurt you unless you catch it, unless you go, here, hit me with it. Pound my head into that I can't make it. And now I guess I can't because I allow it to hit me. I allow that evil thought, that evil word from the enemy, thank you for the gift, Nicola, to take up residency in my mind and heart. And they didn't come and stop me from basketball practice. They didn't come and stop me from writing the book. I let my own mind work on me. I let my own mind stop me. I chewed what they said like cud. So here I am writing the memoir about Timothy and the premature birth. And I'm getting to this part where my roommates who I was living with at the time were telling me that I've gained too much weight, that I've gained so much weight that I'm never going to be able to lose it, and I'm never going to get to be an actress because I'm going to be too fat, and no one's ever going to want to hire me, and I believe in it. I'm believing it. And you know what? I end up not acting for about 2, 3, 4 years after Timothy because I believed. I let the rock hit me. I dwelled on it. I thought about it. I let those words churn in my head. I was kept up at night. I couldn't sleep because I'm thinking, I'm never going to get to be an actor. I just wasted the last 9 years of my life. I just wasted my life. It's all over for me. Why did I even bother? Why did I move cross country for this thing that's never going to happen? Was it true? No, but I started to live like it was true. When you guys start to live like what some negative person says about you or what you say about yourself, when you start to live like it's true, you're going to find evidence everywhere. You're going to find all the reasons why it's true. I forget what it's called, but there's a term for it. When you believe something, you start seeing it everywhere you go. Because you're always going to get what you expect. Do you guys hear that? You're always going to get what you expect. You expect your boyfriend to always be lousy to you? He's always going to be lousy to you. Because you're going to look for evidence. The day he brings home flowers, you're not going to remember that. You're not going to remember that. The day he makes you pancakes, easily forgotten. Because he's doing this other stuff you don't like. And your focus is on all the stuff you don't like. Do I look good in this dress? You know, I like the purple one on you better. Great. You hate me in this dress. I look ugly and fat in this dress. I'm so disgusting. Why do I even bother? We're not even going to go out tonight. And he's like a deer stuck in headlights. Babe, what did I say wrong? All I said is that I like the purple one better. I didn't call you fat. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Now we're in a fight? And I don't even know what I said? Okay, admit it. How many of you guys have ever been there? How many of you guys have ever done that? Like, what the heck? Your own negative thoughts about yourself are sabotaging your relationships with others and your relationship with yourself. Jesse Oakley just said it's like the Michael Jackson song. It starts with the man in the mirror. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I missed a lot of your comments. Let me see if I can go back and catch a couple of them. Okay. I'm sorry to hear you were bullied. It's good to take a break from social media. Lizzie, the break helped and I'm back and ready to not let it get to me. Yes, don't let that rock hit you. I don't care what other people say about you. You know the truth. You know the truth. So it doesn't matter what anyone else says about you. They can lie about you all day long. Imagine if you're a celebrity. You go to the grocery store and you're looking at the gossip rags on the cover of the magazines and it's saying your marriage is in trouble and you're caught in a hotel with somebody and you're thinking, what the heck? I just had a business meeting with that person about a movie I'm going to be with. My marriage is not on the rocks. What the heck are they writing about me? Now millions of people are seeing this and it's not the truth. You can't live like it is and act like it is. Okay? Corey said the Dhar Mann video you were in was so cool with the neighbors. That was a fun one. Of course, I love working with Giovanna. Nana says, I also realize that the things people do must not be taken to heart either. Absolutely. People are just acting out of their own past. They may do things that totally annoy you and upset you. Like me leaving the cupboard doors open. Totally annoys and upsets Rob. Now, there may have been times where he hit his head on a cupboard door I left open. And he may have said, what are you trying to do, kill me? And I was not trying to kill him. I was just a little absent-minded and thought I shut it all the way and it didn't shut all the way, you know. We do things and people cannot take them to heart. Like, I'm not totally, always, no, I'm never trying to annoy him, okay? I just do. I just annoy him by some of the stuff I do. Okay, Jarrell says you're holding yourself back by listening to the critics. Yeah, you guys are saying, yes, this is helpful. Thank you, Alicia. Okay, Sub-Zero says, what if people's words have power and how we react to what they say? Okay, words do have power, but you can choose not to give them the power when they come, you know, do you know what I'm saying? So when you know that words have power, then you are responsible for what you speak. You are responsible for what you put out into the world. If someone speaks something negative to you, you still have the choice. Do I believe it? Do I not believe it? Do I take it to heart? Do I not take it to heart? Let me take a look at this negativity that was said about me. Is it true? Is it right? Is it uplifting? Is it edifying? Does it make me feel good? Does it make me feel terrible? Is there a grain of truth in it? So I'm not saying every time someone says something you don't like, you just throw it out. I don't believe it. Like the time I handed a bunch of my poetry to my poetry editor and he's like, this is terrible, redo it. And I'm like, which one? And he's like, all of them. They're all terrible. I could have just said, forget you, I'm going to publish them anyway. But because I knew he loved me and he cared about me and he was trying to help me, I had to decide, okay, what is it that isn't working? And then he made little notes on it. Okay, this needs more metaphors. This needs more visuals. This needs more images. This poem needs more descriptive words, not just boring, banal words. Another friend of mine wrote, she kept writing banal on a lot of my poetry. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. I had to look it up. And I think it kind of means something like boring. So I had to start writing things that were less boring. Now, if it's somebody who doesn't know you, doesn't care about you, doesn't want to help you, isn't trying to get you to be better at what you do, they just want to point the finger, they just want to criticize, then at that point, you could throw it out. Or what a lot of companies do, they take even the negative hater stuff and they go, what from this comment, let's take away what it means about me, or let's take away what it means about the product, and let's see, is there any grain of truth from this that I can actually use to improve myself. So here's an example. Let's say you're speaking, you're in front of the class, and you're reading your report, you're giving a speech, and you're saying a lot. I'm gonna talk about Columbus and how he sailed the ocean blue and discovered the United States. Okay, so that's what you did. Let's say that. You got a hater, you got a critic, and he's saying, geez, you can't even like say your speech in front of the class. And they're totally making fun of you. Even a hater like that who doesn't like you and he's making fun of the mistakes you made, two things you can do. Number one, don't let it get you down. And number two, go, oh, is there a grain of truth from that? You know what? I did say a lot. Okay, well, I don't care about him, but he did point out an interesting fact. I'm not going to let what he said hurt me, but he did point out an interesting fact. So I think, you know what? I'm going to practice my speech. And I'm not going to say the ums. If I lose my place and I'm scared that I didn't fill the space, I'm just going to be silent until I really find where I am. Because a lot of times people lose their place or they forget what to say and they're like, it's a nervous thing. So you can decide next time I'm going to read my report. And if I lose my place, instead of saying to fill the space, I'm just going to be silent. Find out where I left off and pick up and continue there. So even the haters can give good insight. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Nicola, please don't apologize. Any gift you guys give, even if you send me 5 cents, it's from the heart, and that's what matters. And that means that like you're liking what I'm doing. You like coming here, that you're learning something, you're getting something out of it. And I appreciate any donation. I think it's beautiful and it really shows where your heart is. Corey says, don't listen to people who are mean to you. Elena just started a new job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay, so oh, Nicola's volunteering as a children's mentor. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm going through your comments. Jordan asks, how did you get back into acting if you had all that self-doubt, Catherine? You know, it called to me. It was like, it was this undeniable thing I guess I could have kept pushing it down. I just felt like this is what God wanted me to do. He wanted me to be an actor. He wanted me to be a writer, and I had to not let what other people say affect me. And I had to do a lot of self-work. I had to read the Bible. I had to get close to God. I had to take a lot of classes. I purchased online courses. I had a mentor. I had multiple coaches. I had workshops I would take, and I had to get my mind space right and not let my doubts hold me back. If you guys see, if something somebody said, something somebody does, or even your own thoughts, what you're thinking, what you're doing is holding you back from your calling, you gotta, from what you're passionate about, you gotta see that. You gotta see, okay, I'm doing this to myself. Why am I sabotaging myself? Why am I looking in the mirror and hitting myself in the stomach and saying, I'm not good enough as a person because I have a little jiggle in my belly? Like, who cares? Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, who cares? It doesn't matter. There's hurting people in the world that your sense of humor could make them laugh and make them feel better. And they don't care if you've got bingo wings jiggling. It doesn't matter. So why are you letting that stop you? Donald says, God sees us as no one else does. Sometimes he allows pain as part of the training. But if we just place our trust, he knows what he is doing and we'll be in a lot better place. Sometimes we mess up, we end up flat on our back in pain, maybe in a hospital, because God knows that's the only way we're going to look up to him. How many of you are really praying a lot, reading your Bible a lot, pressing into God when everything is going wonderful and perfect and everything's going great? No, sometimes we need a little like, oh God, what's happening? What's happening? In order for us to press in and pray. My pastor, my previous pastor, Mel, used to say, he'd have people come to church every week, praying faithfully, attending, giving, tithing. They'd be like, God, please bless my finances. Please bless my finances. I need finances. And then God would finally bless their finances. And then life was great and they didn't have any problems. They didn't have to worry about their bills. Next thing you know, they bought a boat and they're out on the lake every weekend and they're not even coming to church anymore. We can't get to that place. We have to press in when things are going good or going bad. Oh, Lizzie, thank you so much for the generous gift. I appreciate you. Anadit, is asking about my birthday plans. I don't have any yet. I was just thinking about that last night. I kind of want to go to an open mic night. That used to be a tradition I had. Every year on my birthday, my husband and I would go to an open mic night, and I would like listen to poetry and singing and do some of my own poetry, and I don't know, it's something that I really like to do. I don't know, I just haven't been in a party mood. I haven't been wanting to I haven't gone to the parties I've been invited to lately. I don't know, big crowds of people. I don't know, sometimes I just want to be more intimate and more with just like 1 or 2 or 3 people. Erica says, hi, Catherine, I'm finally back. I need to study hard. Awesome. Jordan says, you were laughable in the Dhar Mann video with the neighbors hate each other. I love how you said your cake was not 5 tiers. Oh, awesome. Okay, so the kindness you put out into the world will always come back to you, Corey says. Even the kindness you give to yourself. That's just as important, right? Okay, so, okay, I'm looking at your comments now. Is what I'm saying making sense to you guys? Donald says, a lot of time the bullies and haters who throw out criticisms are too scared to even try. Yeah, armchair quarterbacks. How many people, they're watching Monday Night Football and they've never played football, or maybe they did in high school or something, and they're yelling at the TV, you idiot, you dropped the ball, I would not have done that. It's like, there you are sitting there with your beer and your bag of chips, and you're telling these pro athletes that you wouldn't have done that. Okay, back to the original question. How do you guys know if the way you're treating yourself or what you're saying to yourself is loving or loathing? Because some of you guys are going to say to me, Catherine, no, I'm not putting myself down. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm just saying the truth. How many of you have been guilty about that? So you're saying, I'm not smart because I didn't go to college. I'm not gonna make this, or I'm fat because I don't wear the same size I did in high school, or whatever it is. You're like, that I'm not putting myself down. I'm just telling the truth. How many of you have been guilty of that? Put yes in the chat. Say that's me. Put yes in the chat. How many of you guys have been guilty of putting yourself down and acting like I'm just telling the truth? Like this person is doing something and you're saying, this person is screwing me over. They're going to put me in the poorhouse. They're going to do this and they're going to do that.
Hi. A famous Disney character is here.
Yes, okay.
So hi, Pluto.
You already know something I would say.
A famous Disney character.
Brittany said. Okay, so Timmy's showing his dog Pluto off. He's a famous Disney character.
I also hate Mickey.
Okay, so before we end this call today, I gotta tell you, it's the, okay, I don't need your plushie to lick me. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
The loving or loathing test. Here's how you can tell if you're loving yourself with your comment or loathing yourself with your comment. Okay, would it be loving your neighbor or loathing your neighbor if you did the same thing to them? Okay, so if you decided, I'm bloated today, I'm fat, I'm just gonna skip supper. Would you, if your neighbor was bloated, would you tell him, you look disgusting, you're so bloated, you better not eat supper tonight? Would that be loving your neighbor or loathing your neighbor? It'd be loathing, right? Loathing means hating, right? Okay. Would you, let's say you want to do something and then you tell yourself, well, I can't do this. I'm not going to go have fun. I haven't earned it. I don't deserve to have fun. I don't deserve to do anything fun. Would it be loving or loathing your neighbor if you told them, you should not go bowling. You should not go have fun. You should not go play pickleball. Is that a thing? I don't even know. You should not go play pickleball. Okay, I don't know if that's a thing. Okay, because you didn't earn it. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve to have fun. You need to work 20 more hours before you can do something fun for yourself. No, you would not say that to your neighbor. That would be loathing them, right? Okay, so let's say you are dog tired. You are mentally and emotionally spent, but you're telling yourself, no, I have to stay up till 2 in the morning to finish this. You cannot do that. You have to finish this. You cannot get your rest. I don't care how tired you're going to be tomorrow. You have to do this. You're not allowed to sleep till you finish this thing. Would that be loving your neighbor or loathing your neighbor? You wouldn't do that to your neighbor. You wouldn't force your neighbor to stay awake when they're beyond exhausted. So when you do that to yourself, you're not loving yourself. You're loathing yourself. I got a lot more examples, but would you know how you think bad thoughts about yourself sometime and you say, I'm not worthy, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm whatever. Would you tell that to your neighbor? Would you tell that to your favorite niece? You're sweetie pie, I love you, but you're a little ugly. You're kind of stupid, You would never do that. But there you are, every day, doing it to yourself, loathing yourself instead of loving yourself when God commands us, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So the same way you would love your neighbor is the same way you're supposed to be loving yourself. Are you doing that? Or are you treating yourself much worse than you're treating anybody else? Be honest. Be honest. Are you treating yourself much worse than you would treat anybody else? Are you guys going to admit this? I'll be the first to say yes. I did that for years. I probably still maybe have moments where I do it. I feel like I'm really aware of it now, so I try to catch myself. But I do not. Tabum says, okay, Catherine, dear, I gotta go. Okay, have a nice day. McKenna says, much worse. Oh my goodness. How many of you guys feel like you got something of value from what I talked about today? Do you feel like this was helpful? Do you think you're going to catch yourself more? Do you think you're going to catch yourself? Hi, is it Rahatul? Some have said yes. How many of you guys are going to catch yourself now when you're doing or saying something that is not cool to yourself, where you're putting yourself down, forcing yourself, Nicholas hands in the air, forcing yourself to go over and above, and at its hands in the air, to force yourself to do more than you would expect from somebody else? McKenna says yes. Nana says very helpful. I want these to be beneficial for you guys. This is me giving of my time, coaching you guys. I can't take on every client that wants to coach with me, but I'm hoping that I can add value to you guys every time we're together, every time you watch one of my videos. Donald says, I treat myself worse than I do anyone else. Yeah. Jackie says, yes, this was helpful. How many of you guys, when you get older and you're like, I can't do what I used to be able to do. I'm worthless. I'm not, sometimes we start to age, and ever since I had Eli, I can't do a back handspring anymore. When they did that C-section and cut my stomach open, I can't. Currently, I'm not able to bend backwards and do a back bend like I used to. Jackie says this is very helpful. Now, maybe I don't need to be going around doing round-off back handsprings. Maybe I don't need to be doing that. So putting myself down about how I was able to do it in my 20s and 30s Why am I putting myself down about that? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Sometimes the things we're even putting ourselves down about is like irrelevant. It's not like I'm going to get cast at my age as a gymnast, right? It's not like I even need to do a round off back handspring anymore, okay? But if I'm beating myself up about not being able to do something I used to be able to do, whether it's a round off back handspring or like a hoop shot or not being able to get into the dress I wore to prom, who cares? It's irrelevant to your hopes and dreams, okay? Now, if your dream is to be a basketball star and you're not 50 and you still have time to do it, then practice, 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 practice. But putting yourself down about it isn't going to make it happen, right? We can't undo some things. We can't undo age. So we got to be kind to ourselves. We got to love ourselves. Now, I wouldn't go up to somebody else and expect them to be able to do something that they could do 10 years ago. Brittany says that's what stunt doubles are for. Okay, you got me. I'm still going to get cast as the gymnast. I'm just going to have a stunt double do the round off back handspring for me. Exactly. Rosa says, when will Lynn, Gothie, and Maggie Avila come back to Dhar Mann? What happened to Mair? Even she's not seen. You're right, I haven't seen Mair in a few weeks. Lynn moved out of the country. So she's not in America anymore. Nana says, yep, there's some things we definitely can't do at our age anymore, but it's about acceptance. Yeah, when are you guys gonna start accepting itself? People buy things with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. Okay, Avila is quoting from the video that came out this week that I was in with Giovanna.
Mommy, it's calling tonight.
What's that?
It's calling tonight.
Yeah, I know what time. It does have a clock right there. Why don't you go get dressed? Is this clean clothes?
Yes.
Okay, go put your shoes and socks on. Okay. So this week I want you guys to start realizing the things that you're saying and doing to sabotage yourself, to put yourself down. Tora says, do you like being in Dhar Mann videos? Yes, I like it very much. Realize what you're doing and say to yourself, would I do this or say this to a neighbor, to my daughter, to my son, to my niece, to somebody I really love? You guys may not be at a place right now where you are 100% in love with yourself. And that's okay. We don't get there overnight. I didn't get there overnight. I'm aware.
No, Mom, this is something different. He's a puppy, Mom.
Okay, sweetheart, not right now. Oh, yes, if you guys haven't seen my film Magic Hour on Amazon, you'll see me doing a crazy stunt on my own without a stunt double. I wish we only had one take. We had one take. We were running out of time. I gave the filmmaker the wrong address, so he went to the wrong place, and he showed up just like 15, 20 minutes before we had to close down, and I think I only had one take to do that. Looking back at it, I would have jumped higher. And I had some other stunts in there. I'm kind of bummed he cut out. I did another cool move where I had the lady like in a headlock, and I ran up the ropes and flipped backwards over, taking her down with me. Oh yeah, if you guys want to see a little bit of wrestling, you'll see some moves in my movie Magic Hour. So I want you to recognize this week what you're saying to yourself that you would never say to someone else. The minute you say something like, no, it's not going to turn out for you, you shouldn't even bother, stop yourself and go, wait a minute. If my neighbor asked me if they should go for this thing, would I tell them, no, it's not going to turn out for you. No, you shouldn't even bother trying. Of course you wouldn't. So you need to have as much faith in yourself as you have in others. You need to have as much encouragement and love for yourself as you do for others. And then we're going to be obeying the second greatest command God gave us. First greatest command is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul. And the second is like it, to love your neighbor as you love yourself. The same way. Can you guys do that? And can you not let the rocks that other people are throwing at you, can you just dodge them? The only way they can hurt you is if you grab them, hold on to them, take them in, mull over them in their mind, believe them. What somebody else says about you and your ability to make it in whatever your chosen field is, that's right, hangman. You gotta heal the hurt. Whatever somebody says about you has no determination of whether you make it or not. It's all based on your decision. Many people told me I would not make it as an actor. Many people listed all the reasons why. I was threatened by certain people in the entertainment industry that if I didn't do this certain thing, they would blacklist me. They would make sure I would never work in this town again. It was scary being told that by big, powerful people in the entertainment industry. But I have to choose to believe the dream God put in my heart, and that if God gave me the dream, I'm capable of doing that. And you have to do the same. You have to believe that the dream God put in your heart, you are fully capable of doing. And nothing about you, your way of being, how you look, how you think, how you feel, is going to hold you back unless you let it. It's not the bullies stopping you. It's not what other people are doing that are stopping you. It's what you decide to make that mean and the actions you choose to take or not take because of it. It's all up to you guys. The power is in your hands, and with God, nothing is impossible. We'll see you next week. Take care.